Hello everybody, Chris Profi, Musically Obsessed. I've got some vinyl finds for you, and these are a lot of classic albums and classic artists. So let's get into it. Anybody who watches my channel, you probably know that I'm a huge Monkees fan, and I've been on a hunt for a really nice version of the Monkees head, and I found it. Now this is a 1980s Rhino reissue, and it sounds awesome. And check out that hype sticker. A lot of those 80s Monkees reissues had the hype. This, of course, is the shiny cover. I think there's a new reissue of this with like a matte cover, but I wanted to definitely make sure that I got the shiny cover. This is one of my favorite Monkees albums. I mean, it's got the Porpoise song on it, which is an amazing tune, and another song called As We Go Along, and just a classic Nesmith tune, Circle Sky. So Monkees head, killer. Next, picked up a Japanese pressing of a lesser known Cat Stevens album. And this is his album Back to Earth with the Obi strip. And it also has the insert inside with, the Japanese writing on it. What can I tell you about this album? Cat Stevens had a lot of hits. The hits, started to, wane for him a little bit, but I don't think the quality of the music did. And this is a perfect example. Some of those later albums like Is It So and Numbers are really good, including Back to Earth. So if you're a Cat Stevens fan and you've never listened to this record, check it out, Cat Stevens, Back to Earth. Now, filling some holes in my collection with some classic hard rock bands and albums. Let's start with Kiss first. Picked up some reissues of some classic Kiss records. And you might be saying, well, Chris, why weren't you on the lookout for, OG pressings? Well, OG pressings are a lot more money, of course, and a lot of times when I come across OG pressings, they're beat to hell. The reissues are a little bit more pricey sometimes, but, the quality of the albums I think is good, and I think they sound great too. So I picked up a reissue of Dress to Kill. Listening to this, I was reminded of how strong this record is. Top to bottom, it's got some of my favorite Kiss tunes. Room Service, Two-Timer, Rock Bottom, Come On and Love Me. And you even have Rock and Roll All Night on here, She, and Peter Criss singing Getaway. Just a really strong record. Also picked up a reissue of Hotter Than Hell. Again, these were all holes in my collection. So finally got Kiss, Hotter Than Hell. We talk about the production of this album. Maybe it is a little shady, but the songs on here, Got to Choose, Parasite, Going Blind, Hotter Than Hell, Watching You, Peter Criss singing Mainline, Coming Home, Strange Ways. Very, very heavy record. I talk about how much I love Unmasked, and I do. I love Dynasty as well, but, you can't really beat these early Kiss records. They were heavy, they were hungry, and, just phenomenal records. And another hole I filled in my Kiss collection, finally picked up a reissue of Rock and Roll Over. Okay. Sort of Kiss getting back to basics after the hugeness of Destroyer. You have See You in Your Dreams, Love 'Em and Leave 'Em, Hard Luck Woman, Making Love, I Want You, Calling Dr. Love, Baby Driver, Ladies Room, Mr. Speed. And I didn't read those in order because they're not in order on the back of the album, but I just wanted to tell you some of the strong songs that are on this record, and the cover is just a colorful masterpiece. Another classic band that I was missing a couple albums by, Led Zeppelin. Finally picked up Led Zeppelin 1. We know this record. I don't even need to talk about it. And picked up this, Coda. Sort of the last hurrah by Zeppelin. Some really good stuff on here. I like Poor Tom, Walter's Walk, Ozone Baby is Cool, Darlene, Wearing and Tearing, just a perfect title for that song, because Jimmy is just wearing and tearing on the guitar in that tune. A fun record, you know, like I said, a swan song for the band, pun intended, but just a really cool collection of some, you know, of the last tracks that we would get from Led Zeppelin. Another classic band, The Doors. I showed this in my underappreciated albums video that I did, and it's one of my favorites, so I had to pick up a reissue of it. I had kind of a beat up copy of it, and I'm like, no, I need a nice copy of The Soft Parade. You know, one of those Doors albums that, you know, a lot of people look at and say, hey, maybe it was the weakest of the Jim Morrison albums. You know, I don't think so. There's so many great tunes on here. Tell All the People, Wild Child, Wishful Sinful, and I've always loved the title track. So there you go, some classics, classic albums, classic artists, some holes that I had to fill in the vinyl collection. So I wanted to share that with you guys. All right, have a good day.